get ready for a rapid-fire update on the future of transportation and policy. We're diving into major shifts in electric vehicle strategies, from government fleets to personal commutes. What does this mean for the industry and for you? Stick around, because you won't want to miss what's happening right now. First up, a significant political debate is heating up over the Postal Service's electric vehicle fleet. We've got the latest on the push to change course, and what it means for billions in funding. Then, we're looking at a major automaker's ambitious new electric pickup truck. Could this be a game changer? We'll also explore the impact of expiring tax credits on EV adoption, and hear from experts on whether this will slow down the green transition. Finally, a look at the growing landscape of EV-friendly states and what makes them stand out. It's all happening fast, so let's get into it. Stick with us for all the essential updates. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Political crossroads for postal EVs. A significant debate is unfolding in Washington regarding the U.S. Postal Service's transition to an electric vehicle fleet. Despite a plan lauded a year ago to replace thousands of aging, gas-powered mail trucks with a predominantly electric fleet, the agency now faces congressional efforts to curtail its electric vehicle, EV, initiative and redirect federal funding. These attempts, primarily led by Republican lawmakers, aim to revoke billions in federal EV funding, citing concerns over cost savings and operational efficiency. However, these moves are met with strong opposition from those who argue that abandoning the EV program now would be fiscally irresponsible, potentially wasting millions already invested in infrastructure. Donald Maston, president of the National Rural Letter Carriers Association, emphasized that halting the program would be short-sighted, leading to the squandering of funds on infrastructure that has already been put in place. Beyond the financial implications, the scientific community is voicing concerns that such a reversal could mean missing a critical opportunity to reduce carbon emissions, a move they deem essential given the urgent need to address global warming. A 2022 University of Michigan study indicated that the new electric postal vehicles could significantly cut greenhouse gas emissions, projecting a reduction of up to 20 million tons over their 20-year lifespan. Professor Gregory A. Keolian, co-director of the university's Center for Sustainable Systems, highlighted that while this is a fraction of total U.S. emissions, the acceleration of electric vehicle adoption is crucial in the face of intensifying climate change impacts. Several Republican lawmakers, including Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa and Representative Michael Cloud of Texas, have been vocal critics of the Postal Service's EV plan. Senator Ernst has described the initiative as a textbook example of waste, pointing to perceived delays, high costs, and concerns about cold weather performance. She plans to introduce legislation to rescind remaining funds from the Inflation Reduction Act allocated for the new postal vehicles. Citing Oshkosh Defense, the primary vehicle supplier, Ernst noted significant production delays, suggesting the contract may not be fulfilled as planned. She advocates for the continued use of gasoline-powered vehicles, particularly those utilizing ethanol, which benefits Iowa's agricultural sector. Representative Cloud echoed these sentiments, stating the project has resulted in delays, defective trucks, and skyrocketing costs. The Postal Service, however, maintains that production delays have been minimal and are part of a planned gradual ramp-up to resolve any initial production or supplier issues. Spokesperson Kim Frum stated that the agency is in the midst of a major modernization plan, which includes electrifying its fleet. The Biden administration has supported this transition, aiming for an all-electric federal fleet. The current fleet relies heavily on Grumman long-life vehicles, many dating back to 1987, which are inefficient and prone to breakdowns. The Postal Service has ordered 51,500 NGDVs, with 35,000 designated as battery-powered, though only a fraction have been delivered so far. The agency also ordered 9,250 Ford E-Transit electric vehicles, with over 8,200 already received. The debate over the Postal Service's EV transition occurs against a backdrop of increasing EV adoption nationwide, driven by incentives and climate awareness. However, policy shifts, such as potential reductions in federal incentives, could impact this growth. The broader context includes varying state-level support for EVs, with states like California, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Oregon leading in adoption due to robust infrastructure and incentives, while states with more rural populations and less developed charging networks face greater challenges. This political tug-of-war over a key government fleet highlights a broader national conversation about the pace and direction of EV adoption. But that's not the only major development in the electric vehicle world. A major automaker is set to roll out a groundbreaking new EV pickup truck. Ford's $30,000 electric pickup, a new era for trucking. In a move that could significantly reshape the pickup truck market, Ford is gearing up to launch a new all-electric pickup truck with a surprisingly accessible starting price of $30,000. This announcement comes as the automotive industry continues its rapid pivot towards electrification, with consumers increasingly seeking sustainable and cost-effective transportation options. The new Ford EV pickup is slated for a 2027 rollout, positioning it to compete directly with established players and potentially democratize access to electric truck technology. The $30,000 price point is particularly noteworthy. Historically, electric trucks have often carried a premium, placing them out of reach for many potential buyers. By targeting this lower price bracket, Ford appears intent on capturing a larger share of the market, including buyers who might have previously been hesitant due to cost. This strategy aligns with broader industry trends aiming to make EVs more mainstream. The success of this model could also influence competitors, potentially sparking a price war and accelerating the adoption of electric trucks across different segments of the market. Beyond the price, details surrounding the truck's specifications, range, and performance are eagerly awaited. However, the company's commitment to a 2027 launch suggests a significant investment in battery technology, manufacturing capabilities, and supply chain infrastructure. This launch is part of Ford's larger electrification strategy, which includes popular models like the F-150 Lightning. The success of the Lightning has demonstrated a strong consumer appetite for electric trucks, and this new, more affordable offering could further solidify Ford's position as a leader in this burgeoning segment. Industry analysts are closely watching Ford's move. Many see this as a strategic play to capture market share in a segment that has seen significant growth, but also faces challenges related to charging infrastructure and consumer education. The $30,000 price tag, if it holds, could be a major disruptor, particularly in regions where truck ownership is prevalent and the transition to EVs is still in its early stages. Consumer reaction is expected to be strong, with potential buyers keen to see how the new model stacks up against existing gasoline-powered trucks and other EV offerings. The broader implications extend to the environmental impact as well. As more consumers switch to electric pickups, the potential for reducing carbon emissions from a traditionally carbon-intensive vehicle segment increases. This aligns with national and global efforts to combat climate change and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. The development and launch of such vehicles are crucial for achieving sustainability goals in the transportation sector. Ford's announcement also comes at a time when the automotive industry is navigating complex economic conditions, including supply chain disruptions and fluctuating raw material costs. The company's ability to deliver a compelling electric pickup at this price point will be a testament to its manufacturing prowess and long-term vision. The market will be keenly observing how this new model performs, both in terms of sales figures and its impact on the overall EV landscape. This innovative pricing strategy from Ford could very well revolutionize the electric truck market, making EVs more accessible than ever before. But as the industry pushes forward with new models, other significant changes are on the horizon, including the potential expiration of crucial government incentives for EV buyers. Federal EV tax credits on the brink of expiration, what it means for buyers. Drivers looking to purchase electric vehicles, EVs, may soon lose access to significant federal tax credits, as the current programs are set to expire next month. The Biden administration had implemented a $7,500 tax credit for new EVs and a $4,000 credit for used EVs, subject to certain income and vehicle price limitations. These credits, part of broader economic legislation, are scheduled to end on September 30th, potentially creating a ripple effect across the EV market. Advocates and industry experts anticipate a temporary dip in sales as the credits phase out. Richard Steiner, president of the Hoosier Electric Vehicle Association, notes that many of its members are currently taking advantage of these expiring incentives to purchase or replace their EVs. However, he expresses uncertainty about whether first-time EV buyers will feel confident enough to make the switch without the financial support of the tax credits. The transition to an EV often involves a learning curve regarding charging, range, and maintenance, and the tax credit acted as a significant incentive to overcome any initial hesitation. Carl Lysick, executive director of the nonprofit Drive Clean Indiana, shares a similar outlook. He predicts that Indiana, like other states, will likely experience a short-term slowdown in EV sales once the credits are gone. While he remains optimistic about the long-term appeal of EVs due to increasing efficiency and driving range, Lysick acknowledges that the tax credits have been instrumental in persuading consumers who were on the fence. The end of these incentives could mean that potential buyers who were waiting for the right moment might delay their purchase or opt for traditional gasoline-powered vehicles. This situation underscores the crucial role government incentives play in driving the adoption of new technologies. While companies like Ford are investing heavily in EV manufacturing and consumer interest is growing, the financial aspect remains a key consideration for many. The number of public charging stations in Indiana, for instance, has more than doubled in the past 5 years, improving infrastructure, and many EVs can now utilize Tesla's expansive charging network, making long-distance travel more feasible. Despite these infrastructure improvements, the upfront cost can still be a barrier. The expiration of these tax credits raises questions about the sustainability of EV sales growth without continued government support. It also prompts discussions about alternative strategies to encourage EV adoption, such as state-level incentives, manufacturer rebates, or further improvements in charging infrastructure and battery technology to reduce overall ownership costs. The hope among advocates is that the inherent benefits of EVs, lower running costs, reduced emissions, and improved performance, will eventually make them the preferred choice, even without tax credits. However, the immediate impact could be a temporary slowdown, requiring the industry and policymakers to reassess strategies for promoting cleaner transportation. The focus may shift towards highlighting the total cost of ownership and the environmental benefits, alongside efforts to make charging more ubiquitous and convenient. The industry will be watching closely to see how quickly consumers adapt to a market without these federal subsidies. As federal incentives for electric vehicles begin to wind down, the landscape for car buyers is set to change, potentially impacting sales and consumer choices. Looking beyond immediate financial impacts, we're also examining which regions are becoming havens for EV enthusiasts, exploring the factors that contribute to EV-friendly states. EV adoption hotspots. California leads as states vie for greener roads. As the nation increasingly embraces electric vehicles, a clear divide is emerging between states that are leading the charge in EV adoption and those lagging behind. California continues to set the pace, boasting the highest number of EV registrations and a robust charging infrastructure. However, significant growth is also being observed in states like New York, Florida, and Colorado, indicating a broadening appeal for electric mobility across different regions. This trend is supported by a combination of federal, state, and local incentives, coupled with growing public awareness of climate change and the environmental benefits of EVs. To understand the varying levels of EV friendliness across the country, analysts have developed scoring systems that consider key factors such as the number of charging stations per EV, the presence of supportive laws and incentives, and the annual in-state cost of ownership, including tax credits. States like California, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Oregon consistently rank high due to their urbanized populations, which often correlate with denser charging networks, shorter commute times, and targeted local adoption incentives. These states offer additional EV tax credits, ranging from $4,000 to $7,500 on top of the federal credit, making EV ownership more financially attractive. Conversely, states with large rural areas, such as South Dakota, Nebraska, Louisiana, Iowa, and Arkansas, tend to score lower on EV friendliness. These regions often face challenges with insufficient charging infrastructure, longer average commute distances, and lower population density, which disincentivizes the widespread build-out of charging networks. Residents in these areas may also experience more range anxiety, a common concern for EV owners who need reliable access to charging stations on longer journeys. Furthermore, some of these states have regulations that complicate direct-to-consumer sales models favored by many EV manufacturers, potentially increasing costs for buyers. The economic implications for states are also evolving with EV adoption. While increased EV usage reduces revenue from gasoline taxes, states are exploring new policies to compensate. Some, like Vermont, are considering mileage-based user fees to recoup lost revenue. The overall benefits of widespread EV adoption, however, extend beyond environmental gains, contributing to national energy independence by reducing susceptibility to global fuel market shocks. EVs are generally more efficient and can offer lower running costs than their gasoline-powered counterparts, despite potentially higher upfront purchase prices. The types of EVs available also play a role in adoption rates. Battery EVs, BEVs, plug-in hybrid EVs, PHEVs, and fuel cell EVs, FCEVs, each cater to different consumer needs. The market share of EVs, which occupied about 8.6% of the new vehicle retail market in 2023, is projected to grow, albeit with some forecasts suggesting a plateau in the near term. The continued growth hinges not only on infrastructure and incentives, but also on technological advancements that further improve battery life, charging speed, and vehicle affordability. As the landscape shifts, states that actively promote EV adoption through supportive policies and infrastructure development are likely to benefit from economic growth in the green technology sector and improved air quality. The data suggests a clear correlation between state-level policies, infrastructure availability, and the success of EV adoption, painting a picture of a dynamic and evolving market. These insights into state-level EV adoption paint a clear picture of the current landscape and future trends in electric mobility. And that wraps up our packed episode. Stay tuned for more electrifying news. In quick recap, Congress is debating the future of the Postal Service's electric mail trucks. Ford is set to launch an affordable electric pickup. Federal EV tax credits are expiring soon, and we've seen a clear divide in EV-friendly states. Don't miss our next update. Like this video, subscribe to ElectroDrive News, hit that notification bell, drop a comment below, and follow us on all social platforms for more.